my 7th favorite character in the series, but I want to admit I'm not crazy about Killua. He is more okay and a bit overrated in my opinion, but that has no bearings on my objective view on the concept of his physical development. Warning, spoilers up to the end of the Hunter x Hunter anime, or chapter 339. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more Hunter x Hunter content. Killua Zoldyck, the middle child of the Zoldyck family of assassins and Gon's best friend. This boy has been through some ish, bruh. Raised since birth to be a killer, this poor, fictional child was abused, but definitely not neglected. His family did indeed love him, they just abused him with his best interest in mind. Now obviously if Killua was real, I wouldn't be defending his trash parents, especially since I'm not really a fan of the Zoldyck family in general. However, due to his parents subjecting Killua to electrocution, poisoning, beatings, and overall torture, he was able to be refined into a level-headed, wiser-than-his-age killing machine that could run almost silently next to a person with advanced hearing, create after-images, sharpen his nails, and rip people's hearts out casually, on top of having naturally enhanced physical capabilities as well. He also is highly resistant to electricity and immune to poison due to his upbringing. Killua entered the hunter exams that Gon, Kurapika, and Leoria were in because he was bored and wanted to be a hunter off a whim. He failed the hunter exam via disqualification for killing a fellow examinee during a non-killing portion of the exam, doing so due to being controlled by his brother's Nen while he had no Nen himself. Later, Killua learned Nen, and even later than that went back to pass the next hunter exam. Currently is off somewhere with Aluka. I'm hoping he comes back as a main protagonist again, and I have some ideas for what he should have added to his arsenal by then. I briefly went over Nen in my Gon concept video, but like I said then, I owe you guys a video explaining Nen more in depth. Sometime soon for sure. Nen is the energy system for the Hunter x Hunterverse. Killua is a transmuter class Nen user, with Conjurer and Enhancer being his closest surrounding classes, therefore allowing him to use those as well. So far to our knowledge, Killua has only shown use of his transmuter skills by transmuting his Nen into electricity. He has used this ability with great versatility, shocking by touch, shooting electricity, channeling it through items, and gaining a pseudo-transformation called Godspeed that allows him to travel at much faster speeds. A lot of people mistake this for him moving as fast as lightning, but too many feats in the series speak against that, and speed of lightning is really just what he calls the move. Some might argue he uses enhancer skills while fighting, however this is just him using Ryu from what I've seen and read. Ryu is an advanced principle in Nen. Now I'm going to leave Killua's electricity alone because like I already said, he has shown different uses and advancements for that already. If anything, I would add, the potency of his electricity should be much higher, and I'd like to see him burn an opponent to a crisp. And the other thing is maybe the speed actually does rise to lightning level. I want to look into Killua's Conjure ability. Conjurers create Nen based items or beings, usually a mixture of both. Now Killua transmuted his Nen into electricity because he was exposed to it so much as a child he became resistant to it. He should be able to do the same thing with poison because he's also immune to poisons. Now, there are two ways that I've thought to go about this, and I'll tell you the second way first because I ultimately decided to go with my first thought. Plan B is for him to conjure a weapon and or a little bean similar to conjurers such as Kite, Shizuku, and Knuckle. This bean item would have been either a cat, since Killua has shown more than a few references to him being a cat, or a snake inspired by his technique, the Snake Awakens, and it would probably shoot poison from its mouth, or possibly the paws if it was a cat. But that just feels too lazy to me, and Knuckle kinda did that already. Plan A is for it to come out of his pores. He would achieve this by directly consuming poison and practicing his Ren, similar to when he directly applies the taser to his arm while using Nen to transmute into electricity. When Tesgera saw Killua's ability, he agreed it would have been possible in theory, but he was surprised Killua was able to accomplish it in only 4 days. The same will probably be said for Killua's poison ability. Shooting poison would be cool, but I feel like it's entering a mid-air technique, so just a poison touch as well as secreting from his body in situations where his arms are immobilized is fine. Now, as I said earlier, Killua hasn't added any enhancer applications to his arsenal yet, so I decided to look at things he did physically before Nen, and one of his most notable feats is ripping Jonas's heart out of his chest. He tells Kurapika that he sharpens his nails to do so, so I decided to have him use those for his enhancer abilities. Now, at first I wanted them to grow and be almost unbreakable, similar to Wolverine's adamantium claws, but then I asked myself, why would they grow? They simply sharpen. So enhanced sharp nails. He would accomplish this by using his Ryu to center more Nen into his nails, maybe blocking a Jajanken rock from Gon in the future to give some possible durability feats. He would also be able to secrete poison from his nails. Nails are porous, so it works. To recap, Killua comes back with enhanced poison nails as well as poison coming from his body in general to add to his electricity. And yeah, we'll give him the stat upgrades to where his electricity is as potent as natural lightning and his speed is as fast as it. I would love to see a fight between Gon with the upgrades I gave him in my last video and Killua with these upgrades. Now to touch on his mental development, while Gon was brave and impulsive and needed to learn some caution, Killua was the opposite. He was overly cautious, and at one point it seemed he was slightly holding Gon back. This stemming from his training as an assassin, which taught him to never enter a fight he wasn't sure he could win, this being reinforced by his brother. Killua would have strengthened his resolve by this point and would be used to taking calculated risk at times. He would also hopefully warm up a little more towards Kurapika and Leorio. Not that he has an issue with them, but I would love to see a Killua and Kurapika mission, or Killua and Leorio. Let me know what you guys think about my ideas in the comments, and let me know what Hunter x Hunter character you would like me to do a concept video on next. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe.